Atlanta City Council President Rob Pitts is calling on the city's pastors to preach a special sermon this Sunday, a message of racial reconciliation. Pitts is adding his voice to a faith-based Atlanta project called Friend to Friend, sponsored by the Atlanta Christian Council. It's an aggressive partnering of black and white churches that sets aside missionary work to focus on building relationships. Out of Cascade United Methodist Church, for these words are trustworthy and true, and Glen Memorial United Methodist has emerged a true friendship.
We got good answers. I mean, we did.
Juanita Vassar and Virginia Mayer.
We go to baseball games, basketball games, we have supper together, we stay the weekend, and that's important to know that I have stayed in Virginia's home, and she has stayed in my home overnight. More than overnight, several nights actually.
As part of the Atlanta Christian Council's Friend to Friend project, Virginia and Juanita are practically the poster children. They're black and white congregations among the first to be partnered 3 years ago.
Well, we're more alike than we are different, and I think I always suspected that, but it's really nice to find someone with whom that's true. The Friend to Friend project says you get to know the individual, not the church, not the activity of going to church.
It's been so powerful that now 150 churches across the city are partnered and celebrating.
We're going to have a great time here at the Fellowship Hall as we celebrate together.
To address the city's racial separation in the religious community.
2,400 congregations to find less than a half a dozen that have equal numbers or roughly equal numbers of diverse people is a tremendous divide.
So she matches black and white congregations based on similar economic backgrounds in order to open the door on racial reconciliation. It is not missionary work, an important distinction.
We, especially in the white community, are so good at doing mission work. And I think many congregational groups are out doing mission work and feel as though they're involved in racial reconciliation. But it isn't. There's nothing wrong with mission. Mission work is fantastic. But what if we slowed down and went back and learned to relate to one another first?
Whether it can ultimately change the racial picture on Sunday morning in Atlanta is a guess. But Virginia and Juanita, at least, have faith in the possibilities.
It's hard to get started, but I think that as the more things we do together, the more we get to know one another, that it will grow. Friend to friend, you think of it as friend, T-O, to friend, but it's friend, the numeric number is 2, and everything that we do has to almost speak to that.
Friend to Friend is a one-of-a-kind project that has several Christian councils across the country now looking to duplicate. As for Glen Memorial and Cascade, they have about 50 members committed to building new friendships between the two congregations. Now, if your church would like to be involved, you can contact the Atlanta Christian Council Friend to Friend program at 404-622-2235. Again, 404-622-2235. Coming up tonight at 11, I'll take a look at a partnership between an Atlanta Baptist church and a Muslim mosque.
What a wonderful example they're setting. Now, do churches have to come to the program, or do they solicit churches?
They do both, but you know what? It has grown so, and it's been so powerful that Jan Swanson says at least once a week, 1 or 2 churches are calling now asking, why aren't we on the list? We want to get involved.
Good.
So it is, sort of reached a point of momentum and growing.
It's uplifting and encouraging.
It's very exciting.
Good program. Thanks for that.
A quiet revolution is moving through Atlanta's faith community, a commitment to bridge the racial divide. Churches, black and white, are partnering in a unique program called Friend to Friend, not to do missionary work together, but to build personal friendships that could someday change Atlanta's most segregated hours. It's not very often you see this, a group of white Baptists in prayer at a Muslim mosque. But these members of Northside Drive Baptist Church are taking a leap of faith.
I think we as Christians have a lot to learn about prayer that Muslims already know and can teach us.
Reverend James Lampkin and his mostly white Buckhead congregation hope to learn a lot in their new partnership with the Masjid Mosque near Eastlake.
I want him to preach on a Sunday, maybe on Wednesday night, for the congregation to get to know him
looking to develop friendships in a program called Friend to Friend. And the mosque's imam is excited about it.
We want to create friendships and let those friendships develop naturally. We want to expose our members to one another, and we have faith and trust that they will see each other as friends.
Jan Swanson of the Atlanta Christian Council to promote racial reconciliation, and the only way to do it, she says, is through relationships, not projects.
What makes us different from the Rotary Club or the school is that we're charged by our faith, whether we're Baha'i, Christian, Jew, Muslim, to welcome the stranger. That's what we all have in common. That's what God's told us to do.
But just as important for the imam and the pastor is that through their congregation's friendships, they'll also find commonalities in their vastly different religions. Not to convert, simply to connect under one God.
I think the attempts at friendship and it just keep growing us and challenging us. And I think it makes a difference individually to individual, and maybe congregation to congregation, and maybe in the world. But we start with where we are.
If we're going to share paradise together, then we certainly should share our lives here on earth together.
Friend to Friend started with just 35 congregations in Atlanta 3 years ago. It now has nearly 150. Northside Drive Baptist Church and the Masjid Mosque are among the newest partnerships. In addition to worshiping together, members will also be spending weekends at each other's homes.